Hello everyone, my name is Rituro, and this is my life in Silver League. My opponent today, level 29 Silver Leaguer by the name of Galeno Jr. from the clan Black Zero. And now, as you can see everybody, I chose random to start with, and I randomized onto my worst possible race. I am playing the Red Zerg on Daybreak. Galeno Jr. playing as the Blue Terran with a fancy looking clan tag here, Black Zero. Very fancy indeed. Now, again, those of you who are longtime watchers of this series will know I am absolutely atrocious at Zerg. But I figure, what the heck, I've been doing pretty good as Terran. It's time to bring me down a little bit on the old humility scale. Or is that humble scale? Point is, I'm going to play random, and I'm sure we all know how this is going to go. But let's see, maybe I've learned a few things. Maybe not. Meanwhile, SCV moving out early scout here from Galeno. This is a good idea here. Meanwhile, my overlords head out to scout. Now, I'm doing one thing that I've learned here, picking up from watching Zerg players, is always send your overlords out to hold positions. Even if they're not going to scout, put them like over gaps and things like that, where they can get sight without having to be threatened. Meanwhile, this is an excellent hatchery block here by Galeno. I cannot actually get this hatchery down. Fantastic blocking here from the SCV and being poked at the same time. Great denial. I think at this point I decided, well, you know what? Forget it. You're going to block me. I'm just going to get on out of here. I'm leaving. Forget it. I'm taking my drone. I'm going home. I'm going to go build a hatchery over here. Not the best place to put a hatchery. And it will allow Galeno Jr. to get a free scout here. And he, having denied me, will he go for some sort of cheese? Maybe a bunker? Maybe an supply depot? No, he's just going to hold there. This allows me time to get my spawning pool up and running, get my first gas up there so I have enough to get the metabolic boost up and running. Meanwhile, the Overlord Scout here. Lager? Beer? Oh, I think he was lagging pretty heavily there. I remember there being a bit of stutter at that point in the map. Or in the match, I should say. Meanwhile, I have scouted. I see barracks down. I see no orbital, which I think is... maybe that's why he was lagging. Couldn't get the things he wanted done. Or he was focusing too hard on the micro of trying to block my hatchery that he forgot to build his orbital. He's floating a ton. Is he going for an early expand here on the back of this? He's got his wall off complete. Got Reapers on the way. Now we have the orbital, a very delayed orbital. Which means Terran Macro will not be able to get going as fast as perhaps Galeno Jr. would like. Meanwhile, my second hatchery in the third hatchery location is up and running in what should be a matter of seconds here. 15 seconds left on that. Galeno will get another scout here as I work to get 4 lings and a queen out the door to fend off this pesky little SCV. Meanwhile, Galeno does have a Reaper on the way as well here to try and provide that pressure. He knows he's got it. He denied that hatchery. Why not get a Reaper on the field? Problem is this SCV is not long this world with 4 lings jumping out of the spawning pool, going after him. There's the Reaper though, and this Reaper will actually just run right past everybody. The problem is though, the timing of this queen could not be better. This queen will pop out and go right after the Reaper. No drones will fall. A waste of 50 mineral, 50 gas. Not gonna be happy with that as Galeno, as this SCV will be taken down now. And now the Reaper will attempt to follow up, I would assume, and take down these 4 lings as it's a back and forth. There's the poke, and the ling said, alright, you want to play? You want to play? Pokety pokety poke poke. There's 4 of us, there's 1 of you. However, that one of them does have jetpack, and 1 ling will go down. Good micro here from Galeno. Pulling off now as the ling said, alright, we've had enough of this. We want to stay cost effective. Supply 28 to 14 right now. How does that break down as this Reaper jumps into the drone line again? 8 to 2. The army supply 19 to 12. The worker supply. Once again, the queen. 2 queens now as they prove their worth here. Another queen on the way. 4 queens on the field now. Again, another thing that I picked up watching Zerg players play is always have a backup queen. If not for creep spread, then early harassment defense. Alright, haven't gotten up for my metabolic boost here. It should be on the way momentarily. I've got my guess questions. Do I notice as I begin to get my creep speed running? There's the spine crawler to stop any more of those pesky Reapers from making my life miserable. See, let it never be said that I don't learn from my mistakes. And there have been many when I play as Zerg on my life in Silver League. Spawning pool now finally that metabolic boost up and running as the creep begins to move itself. There's the inject larvae on the second base. Now, here's the question. What do I do here? I have just a few lings on the field. One of my downfalls has been an over-reliance on early ling tech, not getting up the tech tree soon enough. So we'll see if I'm actually able to learn from that, because meanwhile, back at Casa de Galeno Jr., he's got his orbital, he's got his second gas up running. decent saturation. You could probably use a few more workers on minerals. But then he's floating plenty. I take that back. A good idea to focus instead on gas. Factory almost done. Second barracks with reactor on it is done. Tech lab is done. No tech being made as of yet. Only on the one base as well. He's got the cash to expand. He's got the units to defend it. The one Overlord scouting here sees no second base. Interesting plan here from Galeno as he opts to get another supply depot going here to alleviate his supply block. Not a bad idea. Reactor now on the way. Good idea when you're playing Zerg. You know he's got Ling. Get those Hellions on the field. Fire good. Ling's bad if you're a Terran player. Now, my Overlord map positioning is not, it's not ideal, but it's pretty darn good considering I hardly ever play as Zerg. Good scouting here by Ling's, checking for any hidden bases, any proxy crazies. Double Hellion on the way now. This is exactly what Galeno Jr. needs. He knows he has to know, I would hope, that he's behind. This will change that, absolutely. Meanwhile, good biodefense here on the high ground. Lings are masked. Do they opt to push in? That's the question. They've got a weak point in this tech lab or supply depots. They could bust in. No stim. But it looks like the Lings are just going to rally here with metabolic boost done. And I think they're missing the opportunity here. The longer they wait, the more of these Hellions get done. There are 2 Hellions, in fact, on the high ground. They have missed their window. But I've actually started to build roaches and get Zerg melee attacks and work on my lair tech. I'm learning. I'm slowly learning to tech up as Zerg. Unfortunately, Galeno Jr. is teching up better than I am as his starport is on the way. The Lings now, having realized that they can't go up the front door, are opting to just bust down the rocks and make further attacks easier, removing some of that ability for Galeno to hold the middle ground. Now the question is he aware of what's going on? The army has actually walked out the front door. They will now definitely be aware of what's going on as they move into the Zerg who aren't even paying attention. Oh, Zerg, that would have been a death knell right there. Instead, they get the rocks, but none of the Terran units. Do they decide to stick around? One will just poke and leave them out of there. Unfortunately, it's not going to do much as the Zerg will have to retreat here. Roaches are here to provide support, but Roaches alone are not going to have to swing this battle. So moving back to the creep, good idea here. Meanwhile, the Bio opting not to chase off the Overlord. Interesting. Galeno still dealing with a very heavy supply block. Now he's got his medevac coming out here, as well as a Marauder and 2 more Hellions. Meanwhile, my long overdue third hatchery is on the field. Halfway built. Will be nice to have that going. More drones as my macro's not horrible as Zerg. It could definitely be better. No gas to speak of, though. I mean, I don't really need much of it at this stage in the game. Not until I start being more serious about getting roach in the field, we'll need to transition to gas. And sure enough, now you can see, just as I say that, there's the transition to gas at the main. More units coming on the field now here. And there, with lair tech complete, now the Overlord can start pooping some creep and denying that expansion. Still the one base player for Galeno Jr. He's got actually still not the best macro saturation here. You know, I don't often say this about Zerg, but a Doom Drop here could actually be lethal. Getting some harassment there on that line, cutting out the mineral supply would be fantastic. As it stands, no eventual sacks as of yet for the Overlords, as more creep tumors are being pushed out. Ah, there we go. There's the Spire. When dealing with things like Hellions, get Marauders and shoot them from above. Queen's looking pretty good here. Not sure what to expect. I figure, you know what? A Spore Crawler, probably not the worst thing I could throw down right now, just in case there's some crazy drops about to happen. And there, I mean, based on the earlier aggression, I think I was fairly right to think that. Hydrolith's den going now as well to get some beefier tech units on the field. Not a bad looking army, actually, all things considered. Could use perhaps a little bit of help there. Burrow now on the way to provide perhaps a little bit of a ambush situation. And now an Overseer joining the party. Sort of hanging out here. What are we doing here? Rating for creep? As you can see, my creep spread is fairly good horizontally. The problem here is my creep spread needs to go vertically, get closer to the enemy base. That's something that I seem to recall did not happen until very late in this match. By that point, it was all completely over. Stim pack 2/3 done for Galeno Jr. and his ball of armor actually looking very good. Army supply 51-56 favoring Galeno Jr. There's the Widow Mine hit. Clutch Widow Mine hit. Just out front of his base, down go quite a few actually. How many are taken down? 14 Lings vaporized by that shot. That's gonna scare the army back. And Galeno has to feel pretty darn good about that. Now he will move out here, having scared off the Overlord. The army finally able to take care of that. Will begin his second base here at the 14-minute mark. Mine's redeploying. Down go the supply depots. The army now moving out. It's a slow but steady progression here for Galeno. Good job. Close the front door. Good idea. Oh, leaving one down here to allow reinforcements to come through. There's a smart player right there. There's more bio on the way. Level 1 armor just about done here for ground troops. Hydralisk Muta on the way now. Some supporting lings using those minerals as much as I can. This is, at least I will say this with Zerg, when I get, you know, enough production on the field, I can use this money as fast as I possibly can. Well, maybe just functioning not having good enough mic or macro to actually pull the money in. Sure enough, very poor mineral saturation here at the third base. No macro whatsoever at the second, though. I imagine that'll be fixed with these drones here. And at the main, less than ideal. A few more drones on minerals would be fantastic. Again, just to remind you all, I am horrible at Zerg. When I play random Zerg, bad things tend to happen. But that's part of learning, and that's why I'm in Silver League. Army now gathering here at the center. Neither army really wants to move out here. The problem, though, is the longer I wait, the more impressive this ball of Marines gets. And that many stimmed up Marines spells trouble for anybody. And sure enough, the Lings are a little advanced forward, sees what they see, and says, okay, we are not moving forward at all. There are mutas joining this army, though. It's not enough, though, I think, to make a difference. Certainly with that much stimmed up Marine, it's going to be trouble. More Queens actually on the way as well. Provide a line of defense. Going with the Planetary at the second base. Interesting choice here. Galeno trying to hunker down, it would appear. Usually you want the first and second bases to be orbitals. Interesting choice here to go with the Planetary. As the Hellion will move out, and it will find a rather large army waiting for it. The units are not exactly. There we go. There's the poke from the Hydralisks. As I hide inside my little. He's not able to see that at all. Though he is dead, would probably explain that. Siege tank on the way now. Now comes the hunker down for Galeno. And the Widow Mine's now moving around, trying to get an opposition. Ooh, is a Widow Mine drop? Not a bad idea as far as harassment goes. And away goes. Oh, darn. Poor Medevac. That's the thing about Afterburn is you get so excited seeing a Medevac Afterburn around that all of a sudden, oh, it's over. Thankfully, the cooldown is fairly quick, and if you're paying attention, you can spam that Afterburner and get up the field as quickly. Like, there is a scan now. And the scan will reveal... where did he reveal that scan? Anything? Oh, there we go. In the middle, scanning the army right in the middle of the field. He knows what's there, and he knows there's an army. I know he knows I'm there. Time to move out. It's actually not a bad-looking army. Problem is, that siege tank makes it all moot. And sure enough, it's not going to be a good angle here. As the Roaches try to get a bulwark and move in, the Mutas trying to do anything, but they are being focused and stimmed down by the Marines. Looking for that siege tank, can't get there, and that's going to be the end of the army thrown into the meat grinder that is stimmed up Terran. Oh, hit and run was the idea here. As soon as you see that stim, you have to get out. Meanwhile, back at the main base, oh, there go the Overseers. Not good. Meanwhile, the Medevac has moved out, realizing he has an advantage and realizing I have nothing to defend this with. Out comes the Medevac. Now the question is, do I have a spore? I do not have a spore tower here. That's not going to do well. Spore crawlers, you need those to defend against drops just like this. The Queen's just not paying attention, I don't think, at this point, to do anything about this. I mean, I know he's there. I've got the sight to see this. That's the whole point. But I don't do anything about it. That's a problem. And down come the Widow Mines. Oh, one Widow Mines. And now the Queens realize what's going on. They aren't going to stop this Widow Mine from bearing time. Down go half the drones. And down go... Oh, that was a miss there. Over come the Overseers. And that will take care of that little drop. Thank you very much. But the problem is, while that's been happening, the army has shown up. And the question is, can Lisk Muta hold off against fully stimmed up and Medevac back units? They're going to shoot down the Overlords. Not a bad idea. And now comes the engagement. The Lisks aren't doing that badly, but they can't get the engage, not able to get the surround that they want, and they will be shot down summarily. That was the problem. This is a great engage point here for Galeno, using that corner as a choke point, stopping the Lynx from engaging. The Queen's trying to intercept. It will be all for nothing here. This hatchery will fall. 24 Ling, 5 Lisk, 4 Muta on the way. It's not going to be enough, though. all the rally points for those eggs to get them out of harm's way. The stim has worn off, still plenty of energy, those medevacs, though that's not going to be a problem. The Lings trying to throw themselves at the army, that's not a good idea. Here come the List Muta, though, as they run up to try. Oh, at that point, not a good idea when the units are on the high ground waiting for you. Spinecrawler there, trying to hold it off, but I know when I've been beaten. GG. So what did we learn from this episode, folks? I think we can say we safely learned if you allow a Terran who you know is sitting on 2 base and not expanding to build up an army, it will be trouble. If you see a Terran stim as Zerg, do not run into it. And more importantly, if you know that, try and get your own base secured. Unfortunate, but like I said, as far as my Zerg play goes, this is actually one of my better Zerg matches as a Silver Leaguer. Hopefully, I can use this experience to grow next time on my life in Silver League. My name is Rituro. Thank you all for watching, everybody. If you like what you've seen, please think about liking this video on youtube.ca/steelswords, subscribing to me, or following me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rituro, where I record all these episodes live for everybody in Twitch chat to see. And of course, you can reach out to me on Twitter at @ThatRituroGuy. Once again, my name is Rituro. Thank you all for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.